What's up, tubers? Tio here, Simplistic Fishing, coming back at you tonight to do a new lake breakdown. This time we're going to go a little bit west of DFW. We're going to check out a small pond or small lake that we call Lake Leon or Leon Reservoir. This one looks pretty cool. Texas Park and Wildlife talks it up pretty good too, so I'm kind of anxious to see what we're able to find out there. Or I guess I kind of know already since I broke it down. But anyways, anxious to share it with you guys. How about that? Let's go check out Lake Leon. Like we always do when we break down a lake in Texas, we start off on the Texas Park and Wildlife page to see what we can find out about the lake that we're breaking down. This time, we're going out to check on Leon Reservoir, or what's also known as Lake Leon. The location is on the Leon River in Eastland County, 68 miles east of Abilene and 10 miles south of Eastland. It's a smaller lake. The surface area is only 726 acres, but the depth is a maximum depth of 55 feet. So definitely a little bit deeper than what I would expect it out towards West Texas. Impounded in 1954. You can check out the current lake levels there. I always like to come down here and look at the predominant fish species: largemouth bass, white crappie, channel and flathead catfish, and white bass. And if we pull down just a little bit further, you can see here it talks about angling opportunities. It says that Lake Leon offers some of the best fishing in the area. It's most known for its largemouth bass tournament fishing. The reservoir also supports excellent populations of channel catfish, sunfish, and white bass. Florida largemouth were actually introduced into this lake in 1975. You can see here that the largemouth is set for excellent from Texas Park and Wildlife, and a lot of different fish there in the good category too. So some good stuff. If we go out and look at lake records to see what's been posted out here, we've got the largemouth bass record at 13 pounds, and that was in 2019, caught on a Texas rig worm. So good to see that we've got a little bit more recent, largemouth catch, or one of the, I guess, the records for the lake being posted within the last 5 or 6 years. So good to see that out there. And then let's go ahead and go down just a little bit farther. It says fishing cover and structure. For the angler that prefers a variety of fishing cover, Lake Leon is the place to fish. There are boat docks, standing timber, creek channels, aquatic vegetation, rocky areas, riprap, and brush. So it doesn't really tell us too much about that. It says whatever lures or patterns you like to fish, you can do it on Lake Leon. So it sounds like you can really do well catching some bass here. So let's jump over. Let's take a look at this thing from the Google Earth side, and then we'll come back later on the next video and we'll talk about the offshore hotspots. Here we are out on Lake Leon, or Leon Reservoir, however you want to pronounce it. And I want to start over here on the left-hand side and just show you how we have this lake broken down. First off, we've got it by channels and ditches. That's going to be all these green lines that you see on the map. That's your main river channel up here. You've got some creek channels coming in there. You've got a few there. You've got another one over here as well. And then you got a pretty decent one that's back here too. Those river channels and creek channels are really important, because if you know where the center of that creek channel is, you can literally get in it and follow it back and figure out where the fish are. And it also makes, being able to identify where the turns and the bends are, all that good stuff, a lot easier. So you'll have all that on your graph when you go out to Simplistic Fishing and pick up your waypoints here. You'll have all that stuff out there. You also have cover, so different types of cover, whether it be a channel swing, which is C swing that you see there. You've got fences, you got tires, you got brush, you got stuff that I don't even know what it is. So I said, hey, you need to check this out. You got foundations as well. So lots of good stuff to look at there from the cover side. We've also got offshore hotspots. Now, offshore hotspots are tricky on Google Earth because you have to pretty much double click it, change the date, move stuff around to when the date was that I actually broke this lake down. It looks like it was back in February of last year. So if you look here, you can see all the different offshore hotspots. Now, we're not going to talk about those on this video because we'll kind of come back. Actually, we may, because there's not too many of them, but we'll see. We may come back with just a short video to cover the offshore hotspots on Lake Leon next week, just to finish up the lake. Now, we've also got lots of different ramps. I don't like that color, so I'm going to move it up. I don't like that brown. We've also got lots of different ramps that are out here, ramps, slabs, whatever you want to call them. There's actually a pattern there that you can run at certain times of the year. You can get on these ramps and these slabs that are out there, and you can put the hammer down on them. So definitely always be paying attention to that and always be checking those ramps. All right, then we've got rock. Now this lake is very interesting. Sometimes you'll go through a bank line like right here where you basically got nothing. There's just nothing there. And then you'll flip over to the bank line on the opposite side of the lake, and you've got all this big chunky rock and stuff like that. So I'll try to point those out to you, those areas out to you as we go through the breakdown. And then last but not least, there's also several different ponds that are out here. There's a couple ponds. There's a pond here that you can see. There's another one up here you can see. Now the water's low on this image. And there's a couple other ones that I'll point out to you. There's another one back there and a few down here. So let's go ahead and select everything on the map so we have everything to look at. I'm actually going to take the offshore stuff off, even though it's not going to show up on here because I'm not on the right year. And then I'm going to draw this back. Actually, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this view off so we can get a full picture here. And I'm going to draw the date back by going up here to this little history button. And I'm going to draw it all the way back to 2011. So let me get back here. Let's go take a look at, let's start right up in here. The river's always a good indication of what type of imaging you have. 2019 looking pretty low there, so this water must fluctuate quite a bit. 2017 it's back up, 2015 it's back down again. 2015 was a rough year for a lot of us. But it looks like if I come back here to 2011, this gave me the best image from what I could tell as far as being able to locate stuff. So what I'm going to do is, instead of starting at the dam, which is way over there somewhere, I'm just going to start up here in the river. We're just going to work our way down. So like I said, the green line is going to be your main creek channel. And you can see here I have it all lined up there, your river channel, and here's your little creeks that go in it. These little side creeks can be money. So you definitely want to, especially fishing around those openings where those break off, those can be really good. And then you really, anywhere you see these big turns at, you know, this could be a good spot. This up here could be good. Over here, you've got some rock on this creek channel swing, which you know they're going to relate to. You can see it right here. Then as we move down, we got a little bit more in here. We've got some brush that's around here, some more rock, a little bit more rock there. You kind of see it. I marked it here, but this is a little bit of a swing, but just enough to where it's washing that out and creating some really good rock. So we get over here, we get outside of the river. Of course, you got to be careful up here. Lots of trees and stuff like that. I did have laydowns here, and that's probably because I marked it at a different year when there were laydowns there. So let's go. I'm going to go ahead and take that one off because I don't see anything there. Just a big, huge flat that comes out. You'll see it swings around here. I've kind of followed the river channel down. And then we're going to get down in here, and now we're going to start seeing some stuff. So over here, let's start on the left side, and then we'll come back up. We'll finish at the bridge down here. And so I'm going to point everything out on both sides until we get to the bridge, and then I'm going to hang on the south side, and then we'll finish back at that bridge. So coming up here, I know this doesn't look like much, but you got a really big brush pile that's right here. And you're probably like, well, that's way out of the water. Well, not necessarily. Depending on where the water depth is, you can see here that brush pile comes into play. The brush pile is completely covered there. Now it's back into play. So it just depends on, you know, what time of year you're fishing and what the water fluctuation is. But there's definitely a brush pile there for you to check out. Just a shallower one, nothing too crazy. You got the creek channel swing here. Let's keep moving down. As we move down here, we actually have a foundation that's over here. So these are always cool to fish around. It's cool that they're over here by the creek channel too. You got some really nice little rocky points that are right in here too. You've got a nice little rocky point right in here that's actually at the edge of a mouth of a creek channel that swings up here. You got a big creek channel swing back in the back of this. You literally can just come up here and swing back here and see what you can find. Now, as I mentioned before, you got to be careful up here because it looks like there are trees everywhere, at least on that shoreline. I don't see them way out here, but they're definitely up here on the shoreline. All right, so let's keep moving here. We got the two little rock areas. Those are always great places to fish around these bridge causeways. It's a number one place to go find fish. If you're struggling, go to a bridge and you can usually find some fish around the bridge. So let's keep moving on down, and now I'm going to stay on the south-hand side, and I'm just going to point out some of the stuff that we've been able to uncover. So here you got some pretty good rock that's right in here. Really like this. Now remember, let's see, maybe we can get 2013 to come up so we don't have to keep switching back and forth. 2015 is pretty exposed in 2017, so let's do that. We'll switch between 2017 and 2015. So here you can see the water's probably more at normal pool here, and these become really good rock piles. But if we pull the water back when we had a huge drought, you can see they're exposed here. We've also got a lot of rock right in here as well. Again, trees everywhere. Hopefully you guys got lanes or something for this lake. Some really good rock that's over here outside behind this dock that I marked for you guys. Moving on up here. Didn't see too much in here. Now, of course, this whole bank line, if you're paying attention as I zoom in here, you'll see this whole bank line's got big old chunky rock on it. I just don't know how far that rock goes in the water. On this one here, I can tell because the water's down and I can see those stick out. I don't see these other ones actually sticking out into the water, but some of them might. You might even have a little bit of debris that's right in here in this section. There's some rock that's back here behind this dock. And then over here is an old pond, and you can fish on the insides of that pond dam and the outsides of that pond dam, and also in that little opening. And sometimes you can have some pretty good success. I was thinking there might be some rock out here, but it looks pretty scattered, so I didn't mark anything for you guys there. Now, as I move back here, just pulling back, show you where I was on that bridge, I'm going to move on up here. And here, I just wanted you to check this, because these people, they'll dig out this stuff. A lot of times it's just dug out from the docks, and it'll create this nice little ledge that those fish can set on. But I wanted you to check this because you kind of have that. It looks like you clearly have a little bit of a drop or a ledge that's in this area, but then you might also have some debris and things like that that are right there. And it's a very, unique place, not some place that most people would go. When you come out here, you can actually see a fence line that runs straight through here, and it runs all the way up the lake here until it gets too deep and I can't see it. But nice little fence row to go, do some scoping around, things like that. So definitely check that out. Now I'm going to keep moving on down here and go down around, back up a little bit and show you guys where I'm at. So now I'm going to be down in here. I'm going to go over in here, just a couple things to look at. You got a slab there or a ramp. You got a really big ledge going on right there. Now, of course, water's up. Oops, the water's down again. So I can't even find a year when the water was back to normal. But we'll go back here. My computer's having all kinds of fun. Here's 2020, and you can see that ledge disappear. So definitely going to be in play if that water is up to a decent level. So I'm going to pull this back to 2015. We're going to keep going. We've got a little bit of rock that's right in here, too, you can check out. You got a little bit of rock pile here. Look how isolated this one is. You know there's going to be some fish hanging on that. It's a main lake point, rock on it. There's rock on the inside of this point too. As you move on down, you've got just these little areas where you've got rock. You got one that's right here. You got a little bit of scattered rock right in here that you can see. Then it kind of goes away, and then it comes back, has a little rocky point in here, a nice ramp, just some more of that scattered rock. And that's what's unique about this lake, is it has a lot of different kinds of bank lines. You'll find these bank lines with this lighter rock, and you'll find the bank lines with that big chunky rock. And then you'll find bank lines that are just sandy, so you never know what you're going to get, apparently, when you're on this lake. Here's a couple more ramps here, a couple more ramps. Some really good rock back here as far as like a ledge or a rock for them to hang out on, especially if they're getting in the far backs of these creeks and stuff. I can see them hanging out in this little area here. I'm sure it doesn't look anything like that when the water's back up to normal. Let's see if we can take it back to 2020, and you can see it looks completely different. But definitely check here. This looks like a really good little secondary point that's kind of hidden back in there. All right, so I'm going to keep pulling back up here. We're going to move out. You can see, got some pretty good bank line where you could just go cranking, on this kind of rock and stuff here. We got some ramps here, some really interesting looking rock, more ramp, more rocks and stuff like that, more ramps. I'm going to pull back here in a second to show you guys where I'm at so I don't lose you. Going down here, not seeing too much, just some slabs and things. But obviously this is the kind of bank line that you can just go down that bank line and catch fish, especially these little rocky areas, because they're going to be attracted to those areas. You get down here and you kind of lose the rock. There's not much going on in the back of this. Now as you pull back, and I'll show you guys where I'm at. I'm going down that first long stretch here. We're over here by highway or Farm Road 2214. So as we get over here, we get off this point. This point looks like it could really be good. And then on the back side of it, you've actually got some harder spots that are back in here that you could check out. Really cool little area. Some more rock over in there we'll talk about in a second. Got some riprap back here. Not sure how you get around that bridge. I guess the water has to be up, and if the water's up, then it looks like you can go under that bridge. If not, I guess you're hosed and you're not making it back there. So let's move back here. I bet this riprap is hot though. I guarantee some people have caught some fish off that. We're gonna move up. We got some more rock that's out here too. And maybe when you're back here, and you're scanning around, check this out right in here. I don't have it marked right now, but see this right here? I don't know if that's under the water, if it almost looks like an underwater rock, or if it's something in the water, but I would do some scanning around this point right in here for sure. Got some good rock over here that's really surrounded by just dirt and sand. It's a good little wobble head, shaky head area, stuff like that. Another ramp, some more rocks here, rocks off that point. Another ramp here. Then you get into, you know, some of that good little rocky shoreline as we get up here, starting to see a little bit of it come back. And then it just kind of get little sparse patches of it. I didn't mark too much because I didn't really see anything there that just really popped out at me. Another ramp here. I mean, I like these little isolated areas like this where you got some rock here, some here. Over here it looks like you got like a little pond dam that comes out. Now in 2015 you can't see it as much. But if I draw this back to 2011, now you can really see that pond dam. And right in there is probably going to be your hot spot right there on the edge of that little pond dam. Most people are going to go there, say in 2020, and they're going to have no idea that there's even this thing that pokes way out there that has a really good fishing spot right on the edge of it. More than likely, that's a community spot, more than likely, but I could be wrong. But anyways, check it out right in there. That's definitely a good looking spot. Let's go back to 2015. Keep moving up. We got ramps. We got rocks. Let's go ahead and go back to 2011. I mean, it was giving us really good image. Now you can really see this stuff. Here's the rock piles I was telling you about, the little unique ones. Man, these look juicy. Very isolated. Pull back and show you guys where I'm at. Came down here. I'm down here on this little corner down here. These little isolated rock piles just look absolutely juicy. Then we're going to come out here. I wanted you to check this. This looks like it could be somebody's brush pile that's getting exposed. Maybe that dock owner there or something like that. And there could be something here too. Now this one I couldn't tell as well, so I didn't mark it, but right outside of this one looks like you might have something there. You got some rocky shoreline here. You can do some cranking there too. Off this point, you might have like a little rock area. I think we even marked that as an offshore spot, so I won't spend too much time on that one. We're going to move this on down. We've got some rocks off this little point here. I wanted you to check this because these little points that come out and have those little swings, especially if they got a little rock on them, which this one looks like it might, those fish love to set up on that and really, you know, ambush bait as it swims by. So this can be a nice little area to take a look at. And here you got some more rock on this point. You got some brush or trees. I'm not even sure what's going on here, but a lot of goodness going on in the back of that thing. And then we're going to swing over. Got another boat ramp here. You've got some ponds that are back here. They're unique. I don't know if you're going to be able to fish them. You may even want to fish that spot right there. That looks like it could be some pretty nice little rocky. So I'm going to go ahead and put something there for us because I think that's got potential right there too. And then here you got your big ponds that are back here. Now this one doesn't even have an opening, so I guess the water's going to have to go quite a bit up for us to get there. But you can tell the water's normally up here. It's got a pond and a boat ramp and everything. But some ponds to take a look at. That one doesn't look as juicy as that other one where we had the opening. That opening is really awesome. Scattered rock in here. Scattered rock at the edge of this point that comes out. Kind of get a little bit over here. But right here you've got a really nice, juicy looking rock pile. And again, it's off the beaten path. Most people probably aren't going to know it's there. It's around a couple of trees, but a really good looking rock pile. A couple more ramps that are up here. Another little pond that's back here that's hidden. You've got a nice creek channel that comes back here, but it doesn't have a lot of depth to it. It looks kind of almost washed out, almost like a drain. So I'm not sure if I'd spend too much time messing with that creek channel. Did want you to check this. It doesn't look like much here, but when we draw it up to 2015, it almost looks like it's collecting like some shells or something. Something's going on in that point, a little hard spot or something. So wanted you to take a look at that. All right, we're going to move this on up. We've got a nice looking little brush pile that's right here. We got all kinds of debris and things right here, but that is definitely a brush pile to take a look at. You got some more rock up here, rock off this point too. Back off and show you guys where I'm at. I'm getting up here close to the dam. I'm going to move on here. We've got this really good, this whole bank line, basically from here where it says rock to right here. That just looks really good. I mean, just real good rock, all kinds of stuff for them to hide in and stuff like that. You got a boat ramp that's there. We're going to move on up. We got more rock around this point. You can see right in here. Move on up, just a couple more of those unique little isolated little rocky areas. You got a couple that are right in there. You've got a boat ramp. And then you start getting into more scattered rock right in here. And I didn't mark it because it's not like it's in one unique area. It's kind of scattered throughout. But if I'm up here, I'm probably going to go check out some of this stuff right in here, just where this rock comes off. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and mark that as rock out there as well. All right, so we got that marked. Let's keep moving down. And you can see you got rock pretty much that goes all the way down the whole bank line. You got a little boat ramp there you can check out on the sides, another boat ramp here. You get into some rocky little shoreline here, so it wouldn't make sense if I just put rock, 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 rock. And then we're down here by the dam where you can fish the riprap by the dam. I'm sure that's been very productive. A little bit more riprap up in here, some rock off of that point. And I'll pull back. I know you guys just saw the dam, kind of showing you guys where I'm at. We're going to move on up, take a look at this little secondary point that's in here. There is some rock that's around the edge of this thing, so definitely want to go take a look at it. Then you come up here, there's a little old boat ramp that's right there. Some really rocky shorelines all through here. Really craziness. I just tried to mark the ramps for you that I could see. Some of them don't even go in the water. And then moving down here, we got all this big rocky stuff. Got some more, that little point there, I like that. I mean, obviously there's rock everywhere, but that's why I put that there. And then as we move out, I like this rock off around this point too, right? Fishing out in here, more main lake. That's probably gonna be some good stuff. And then you have this little isolated little hard spot right in here you could look at. And now you've got a juicy little pond dam. So you got this little pond dam that comes here that's got a little rock ledge on this side. I would definitely look right in that area. Back in here, you got the saddle. I didn't see a lot of rocks coming off that main lake point, although it does look like a really good point just because it's main lake and it's way out there. Got a bunch of ramps up here, a little bit of rock, nothing too crazy. And as we get over here, another ramp that's buried in here. There's just ramps. Now we're getting to the area of the lake where we don't have all that rocky stuff, so there's not much to look at. Looks like I have one back here where I thought there was rock, but I'm not seeing it now that it's water's all the way down. A couple more ramps. Really good rocky areas. I like this hump that's out here. It looks like it could have some really good activity on another rock there. Just these little hard spots where I put rock. That's basically all you see back here. It's a lot of dirt. And every once in a while you'll come across the rock. You got some brush that's back here you can take a look at. Little rock pile back there. Some debris back there. Oh, just an old slab or what that was. And then moving up here, kind of get the same thing. We got a slab that's there now. Let's move that up because you're like, why is he put slab there? Boom, that's why, because in 2015 they added a slab. It looks like they've added a lot of people here too. We've also got this nice little pond that's over here with a culvert. So you can really see it in 2011 when you bring it down. Here's the pond and here's the culvert. Fishing around that culvert is going to be a pretty good area to be able to find some fish. Then we're going to come up here. We've got a lot of brush that's back here. I'm going to call it brush or laydowns, whatever you want to call it, but the big old section of it right here, got a little bit of rock. Another big section of that brush stuff. More of it back here. You've got some rock here. You've got a little pond that's back here. Maybe fishing around that opening. Some good rock up in here. Some more up in here. Nice little rocky point going on right in there. Then we're getting out more towards main lake here on this one. We come out around this point. We've got some pretty decent rock around this point. Kind of goes from there all the way to there, that whole section. A little bit more out here too, right off the edge of this point, kind of right there to right there. You get back in here, you got some docks. I didn't see too much back there. Then we're gonna move down. We're almost back to the bridge. We've got another pond that's over here. And on the outside of this pond, you got some pretty good stuff. You got some rock that's right in here. You got some laydowns or trees or whatever the heck that is they could hang around. You got some more rock that's up here off the edge of that. You might even have a little bit of a ledge going on in that area, but come explore this area. If you're over on this side of the lake, you can get through all the trees. That's definitely be a good place to go explore. Now you can come up here too. We're almost back to the bridge, but when you come up here, you've got a creek channel that comes through here. You can come in here and fishing this area where this main creek channel swing is. That could be good, and then just kind of following that creek channel back up in there. And then we got the ramp, and then we got a little more rock around the ramp, and then now we're back to the bridge. So I think we're pretty much up on time for this video, but when I come back, I'll bring up the offshore hotspots in the Navionics mobile app, and we'll talk about those and why I think those are going to be good places to look offshore. If you haven't gone out to simplisticfishing.com, please go check it out. We have over 100, and I think it was 12 lakes in Texas that we broke down so far. So we've almost got the majority of the lakes done in Texas, and we're also in several other states: Oklahoma, Louisiana, Arkansas, Alabama, Mississippi. I mean, everywhere. Michigan. Not everywhere, but gonna be everywhere hopefully sometime soon. But anyways, go check it out, simplisticfishing.com. We can take all these waypoints we talked about today, put them on a card for you, and then you'll just take that card, put it into your graph, and you'll have all these on your graph when you're out there fishing. It'll change the way you fish, I promise you that. And we'll also send you the digital files, so what we're looking at today, with all the Google waypoints and stuff like that, you'll get the Google Earth file so you can see it just like we're seeing it here today in the video. Until next time, guys, I hope you catch your PB. Take it easy.